Nargis from Waqts, and we're here at Watches and Wonders, joined by Guido Terreni, the CEO of Parmigiani Fleurier. And I believe you have some very interesting collections to share with us.
So this year we're celebrating our 30th anniversary, and we are doing it with very relevant innovations. The first would be the chronographe mystérieux. The chronographe mystérieux is a third world premiere that we're doing on the Temps d'APF, and it's maintaining the philosophy of the other two, which were the GMT rattrapante in 2022 and later the minute rattrapante, which have interpreted two of the very important functions of the industry. One was the traveler watch, and the other was the rotating bezel of a scuba that was now done through a movement. The third function, which is extremely important, is the chronograph. And consistently with what we have done previously, this chronograph is an interpretation like no other, because it is a watch that you don't see that it is a chronograph. And you have your three-hander, hour, minute, and second, very elegant on your wrist. And with a mono pusher at 8 o'clock, you activate the function and the chronograph comes to life. And it appears when you need it with three hands that are at the center and that showcase your running time with other two hands that were hidden. Then the second time you press the button, you measure your time, and then instead of resetting it at noon, the reset would hide the running hands and the chrono would disappear when you don't need it anymore. So a very pure interpretation of time for a customer that wants a personal interaction with this watch, because Parmigiani is about a private expression of luxury.
Exactly. That's why it's called the mystérieuse, right?
It's mystérieux in French. It means mysterious.
Yes.
And nobody knows you have a chronograph on your wrist.
Exactly.
Only the owner does, which is in the philosophy of the brand, to be into the know to know. And it's a very important achievement because the chronograph is second to none, probably second only to the chiming watches in terms of complication to achieve, and having it done in such a flawless way has been a technical milestone that took us 4 years to get there.
I think flawless is the right word. And it's a world premiere, I believe.
Yes,
right?
It's never been done before to hide a chronograph under a time only, to respect the elegance and to have an interaction, because when you have that pressing the first time and the chronograph comes to life, it's very exciting. You have a specific moment which something happens, and the same when you hide the hands and the chronograph disappears, you have this beautiful interaction with the owner.
Amazing. And I believe you also have a very important 30-year celebration anniversary. So tell us a little bit about that.
This is a tribute, if you want, to the art of watchmaking, because it's about celebrating the legacy of Michel through the first collection that he started with, which is a toric. And for each movement of the collection, petite seconde, perpetual calendar, and split second chronograph, we have come up with 3 limited edition of 30 pieces each that are sublimating, if you want, the experience with finishing that are extraordinarily made, hand finishing, that interpret the light and the pleasure of luxury on the wrist in a very contemporary way, but in a very traditional execution. I would start from the back of the watch, because the back of the watch has a beautiful finishing that is done through a dial technique applied to a movement, which is a guilloché main, so it's a hand guilloché, a tool that vertically defines the depth of the gold that has been erased from the tool, and you design through that technique a clou de paris coupled with a piqué sauté, filet sauté, which is a technique typical of a dial finishing. The result is extremely beautiful, opulent on the back of the watch, because you can be a bit more maximalist when the opulent part is hidden when you wear it, and then when you turn the watch, you have a hand martelage. Martelage means hammering. So through a hammer that has a round, a spheric head, you are basically working the surface of the gold dial to reflect the light in a very uneven way. So it's very poetic, if you want, in the way that that the light reflects. A little bit more shiny than the traditional Grenaman, and that is why we changed the finishing also on the strap, which is a semi-brilliant alligator, double face. Also on the inside you have the alligator, as we do on the hind complications. 30 pieces each for the platinum version of the Petite Seconde, and you have the pink gold version for the Perpetual calendar. Again, 30 pieces with the beautiful finishing on the back. And last but not least, the split second chronograph in platinum that has the beautiful skeletonized gold chronograph split second that celebrated the 20th anniversary of the brand 10 years ago, and that won the best chronograph in Geneva on that year.
Amazing. If I just have something to say, if anyone has the occasion to actually see the back of the watch, the two-step guilloche with the clou de Paris and the, how do you call it? The
filet sauté.
Filet sauté after. So it's a clou de Paris, and then after it's a filet sauté on top of the clou de Paris.
Aside, because the clou de Paris is like a pyramid.
Yeah.
And on between a line of clou de Paris and another, we have interposed.
And that contrast is absolutely beautiful. So you should definitely see it for yourself if you have the possibility. Thank you so much, Guido, for your time.
My pleasure.
And enjoy Watches and Wonders.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.